I knew it, Scott. I knew it was it. You were going to get down on that music.
I gotta.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 134, being recorded on November 8th, 2021. We also are 51 days for the premiere of the Book of Fett.
Yes.
Man, we got actually a lot to cover in the Star Wars / rumor mill / official, whatever it is. But we're going to get into all that stuff. So before we do,
not a damn thing's official, right?
Not very few, right? Very few stuff is official, but still fun to talk about.
Hell yeah.
I got Grand Admiral Franz here with me.
What's up, everybody?
I got Scott Solo with me.
What's up, nerds? How's it going?
Yes, and before we get into all our Star Wars talk, we want to give a special thanks to our Patreons. You got our list, Scott?
I got the list prepared.
Okay.
We are ready to go. As always, here I go through my spiel. Thank you, everybody who is a patron, a Patreon patron. If you don't mind, take a few seconds. If you like our show, log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and donate a little bit to us. We really appreciate it. And every dollar goes into the production of the show. So with that, I want to say a special shout out to our Patreon patrons. We've got Don the Dad Dorn, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the Holy Hour Podcast, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod Podcast on the Red 5 Network, Crystal Lamphere, Brandon and Anya Epler, and AJ from the Forbidden Panel. Thank all of you. You're awesome.
Yes, you guys are. And some of them are chilling in our pit, too.
That's
so
right.
Before we get into that, let's see who's lurking there and trying to survive.
Who's getting digested for
Who's getting
1,000
digested
years?
in the pit, yes.
Yeah. We've got Gordon. We've got Douglas Tupper. We have Lunar Girl. Also, did I already say Gavin Connor? I think I might have already said Gavin. Did I say
Say it
Gavin
again.
Connor? Okay,
We said
Gavin
like,
Connor.
got like 6 times in now. Gavin's on it.
Gavin's all
Rolling,
over this thing.
Gavin.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Santo 1414.
Gavin Connor.
Gavin Connor's in there.
He's in there. I'm telling you.
We see you.
So, and then we've got many more watching right now. So thanks everybody for jumping in.
Awesome. Last week we introduced a giveaway, right?
I think so.
We had this awesome package from our own Scott Kruger, which is a signed package that he did as prints of his artwork, which is fantastic. We have a comic book, we have a coin, we have a poster in there. Oh my God, it's a good contest.
This is the entire Scott Kruger bundle from the Unicon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Our requirements were 25 likes on last week's episode, plus a keyword in the comment section below, and we surpassed our likes. I want to thank everybody who shared, liked, posted, commented. We have some entries, and we're going to do the giveaway right now. So if you're in the pit, if you're in there and your name's being, hopefully your name's on the wheel. If not, if you're listening to this later on, hopefully we call your name, you get a hold of us somehow, and we have our email in our about section, everything, and we'll get that package out to you ASAP. So without further ado, let's do our giveaway.
I'm all excited.
I put
right
all
now.
the names on the wheel.
Wow.
For those of you that are familiar with our Beyond the Pit.
Did you put two F's on Cliff's name there?
Yeah, because
2 F's or is it
I
one
wanted
F?
to.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to. So here we go, guys. I have a wheel up, and in order for everybody to get an entry, you had to do our comment or the keyword in the comment section. So here we go. We're gonna spin this wheel, random.
Oh my God.
This is random, totally random, and the winner is Luke Weeks.
Luke Weeks.
At least, hey, a Star Wars name. There you go.
Right.
All right, Luke. If you get a hold of us somehow, some way with our about section in the.
It's all on you, Luke.
It's all on you at this point. We'll try to. I'll try to get message out to you, but congratulations on that. That was awesome.
And if you didn't
awesome.
win, stay tuned. What are we going to announce it next week for the
next week? We have
contest?
another next week we have another giveaway, a really cool one.
That's
another
right.
cool one. You have.
I thought it was right here, but I don't have it right here. I don't think. Wow, well-oiled machine. Jeez. I'd fire
But in
me
the
if I were you.
meantime, anytime, Luke, get a hold of us. If we can't get a hold of you within a week, and we will get that package out to you. Congratulations, and thank you everybody for joining again on that contest. Next week we're going to announce another one.
Yeah, it's going to be one of these, but it's going to be autographed by Timothy Zahn. So
yes,
what?
That's right.
I mean, we went out personally, flew out, met Timothy Zahn, got his autograph on that poster strictly for this.
That's right.
A giveaway. So details on the giveaway next week. Also, before, again, we got a lot to go over. Yep. Next week's episode, Lunar Girl, who is actually in our comment section from the...
Our comment section. We just break comment right there. Yeah, kayfabe or whatever. You just broke the fourth wall.
Yeah, I did. I totally did it. No, in our pit, chill out. She's going to be joining us next week. She's from the Sidebar Cantina podcast, and she's going to be joining us for some Star Wars talk. So everybody looking, forward to that. That'd be awesome. So I think all the announcements are out of the way, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Contest,
that was a lot of housekeeping right in the beginning.
It was, man.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, by the way, more housekeeping. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff right now. Smash that like button. We need more likes. I got addicted to seeing those likes go up from the last podcast and everything.
That was nice.
It's cool. It's validation for us, and I love it. So, yeah. So
hopefully you didn't just do it for the contest. Hopefully you actually liked the show. So
yeah. Exactly.
Well, they were here and long enough to figure out what the keyword was.
That's right.
Exactly. Dig it.
All right, guys. And I'll spill all that stuff at the end of the show, too, again, and remind everybody to do all that stuff. So we dug up for the last week, man. We've gotten to a lot of stuff. I mean, almost at the day we ended last week's podcast to almost to today's news and rumors and stuff. And when we talk about rumors ourselves, we don't go and look at the ridiculous rumors, right? Like,
Kathy Kennedy.
That
crap, right?
None of that real life stuff and everything. But we wanted to bring up some of these rumors that are coming to kind of fruition, and it kind of makes sense and some of reliable sources. And the very most important one, I think, is a Darth Maul animated series. Now,
pretty cool rumor.
This came from Cinelinx. Okay, I don't know how credible or how much, but they're more credible than a lot of other sources that I've heard of. Okay. But an animated series featuring Sam Witwer, all the original cast and the voice actors coming from the Clone Wars and everything.
Well, something you got to keep your eye on is Ray Park.
Yes.
Right? We've noticed for a long time that when Ray Park is silent, something's going on.
He's working.
And when Ray Park comes back, he'll start doing Sith stuff, but just subtly.
Yeah.
Right. He's very subtle about it. It's all of a sudden hashtag Sith life on Halloween and hashtag this.
Right.
Always something Sith life, and it goes on a tear. Any minute we're going to see him working out. Okay, and we'll see that up until the shows get announced.
Right.
He has this thing. Right. It happened before Solo. It happened before season 7 of Clone Wars.
Right.
He does it. So he's been quiet. And he just came back. It's about to get announced.
Right. If you guys don't know, of course, he did, and I'm sure everybody in the pit knows this, but he's the one who did the motion capture saber duel in season 7 against Ahsoka. And it was very evident that it was Darth. He has a very specific fight style, Ray Park does, and you could absolutely tell. So heck yeah, let's do it.
100%. And that's where Ray Park would come into, again, like Scott, Chris said. You see pay attention to his Instagram, pay attention to these posts. If you see him getting in shape or hashtag his stuff, we've seen it in the past. That whole, everything, it was cool. A couple of details about the series, the anime series from that Cinelinx article was the time and place this was going to rumored to take place. Okay. This was a precursor to Solo, so a prequel of it, and it's Darth Maul's time in Crimson Dawn, either developing Crimson Dawn, getting into stuff and intertwining. Maybe Kira is involved.
Dryden Voss.
Right.
I heard rumor that Paul. Not only did I hear rumor that Paul Bettany was really into this idea, he said in the past that he would love an opportunity to return as Dryden Voss, and I'd love it too. It was really cool character. I'd like some backstory on why is his forehead stapled together. You know what? What kind of a creature is he that whenever he gets angry, his face turns colors? Right. Is he Zartan? I mean, what's going on?
We haven't seen him outside, have we?
No,
he was always in his little. Yeah, exactly. He was always in his little suite. But what this is like the right. Okay, if it confirmed, it's the step in the right direction. We've talked about this many times over, where what's missing in the Star Wars, viewing. If we've got our miniseries, we got our books, we got our comics, we have our movies, our animated series. Okay, we had Resistance, we had Clone Wars, and all that stuff. But I'm talking, what we were talking about is animated movies, like an animated movie. Now that would be cool too. Instead of a Solo 2 or so whatever it is, we get this Crimson Dawn. Remember I told you a long time ago before when Solo came out, I said Solo 2 is going to be called Crimson Dawn because that would make perfect sense in going forward with it.
It would.
And this is
they're going hard. They're going ham on it in the comics, right? We're about to get Crimson Reign, where they're like after the Empire, they're taking control for a while.
Yeah.
So they're not a small deal in the galaxy anymore to us. In the Star Wars universe, our lore, they're becoming a really big deal. And by the time it comes out on trade, I'll catch up on it. But
same,
right.
Yeah, a lot going on there. So having it in the Darth Maul animated series or cartoon, animated movie would be dope as hell. That would work.
Right, exactly.
Makes sense.
Luna Girl brings up a great little segue that we're going to get into real fast. She said possibly for Disney Plus Day, which is this Friday, if everybody hasn't known. Disney Plus Day, they're going to the Book of Boba Fett has a documentary coming out on Disney Plus, which is going to be awesome, and it's rumored to show some footage of Book of Fett and get into more of that stuff. It's also rumored Andor footage and a Kenobi teaser trailer. So I've seen if you look on Facebook right now, I'm sure in your guys' feed you'll see Kenobi trailer this Friday. I mean, people are running with this, and it's a fan-made poster and stuff. But again, it makes sense, like on Disney Plus Day, to have a hype coming for next year. If this is the last hype, because think about this Friday, Disney Plus Day, they release this stuff. It's awesome for Disney Plus. You wait a month and a half, and you got Book of Fett in 51 days. We'd go through that, and that's starting to go through. And then when we talked about last week, Kenobi being on in February as a premiere even makes more sense, because that Book of Fett will end. Kenobi will pick right back up. Like Scott said, we might have 52 weeks of Star Wars
54.
Yeah.
If you do the math on everything, it was 54 weeks of Star Wars content.
If they didn't overlap or have break. Right. Yeah. So this is awesome, man. I get goosebumps even think about it,
Right. And the release schedule makes more and more sense. And I hate to kind of bury a lead for later, because I know we're going to get there. But we're going to start with Boba Fett, and if it goes into Kenobi and then Andor, we're back into, like I said, the original trilogy time frame. Even though Boba Fett started later, we think there will be flashbacks that were late back to time, right? Yeah. And take it back to the original trilogy time frame. So it will all really, before you go forward into the Heir of the Empire piece, we get all this stuff knocked out.
Right.
So it makes sense to hit it February, May,
right,
August, October, and run with it, with
right, exactly. And the tie-in could be right here. I'm gonna post it, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, check that out. What's in the background, guys?
How is that not Kenobi? Right? did you watch it? Did you watch it in the video?
I did.
Yeah, it's
that's why
Kenobi.
this is. That's why the image is kind of cropped, because I had to take it really fast, because I went through to the trailer and I was like, that's him, man. That's him.
Yeah. Okay. No doubt. You can see the robe and everything. When he's walking, it's flowing like it's Obi Wan Kenobi, right?
Exactly. You really have to watch the trailer. And again, I was telling Scott, I watched it a good 20 times right before the we were podcasting. And oh my God, dude, I'm like, that is honestly could be him. And
put it back up real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it is, and then bottom right is Cabe. Look behind that white dude right there. That's Cabe. The what's his name?
The Kubaz.
No, Kubaz is the big one.
Oh, okay.
That's the Chandra fan.
Yeah.
And I'm with Gordon. Right, I mean, that's Jennifer Beals. I mean, Flashdance. What the heck?
Right.
Is she drinking from the fountain of youth? What the hell?
Yeah. I can see past Jennifer Beals because I'm in the Star Wars universe. That's Obi-Wan freaking Kenobi back there. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. That's Obi-Wan. Well, just what
behind me. We talked about this pimp-ass, hair-ass Twi'lek last week, right? And somehow missed. The entire time we missed Kenobi in it until the next day.
Until the next day when like the internet was kind of like, wait a second, who's this guy? Now,
I saw one dude in the comment section. I'm like, oh, let me hit this. It's going to be everywhere. And it wasn't anywhere. And I'm like, why is not everybody looking at Kenobi? He's right there.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
It's just like just how you said. Kenobi series is butt end against the Book of Fett series, right? And it's bookends and stuff, and it carries right forward. It kind of like, okay, it makes sense that we, through a flashback, of course, it has to be, and it's kind of like, okay, and the cantina, we always say cantina scene, and you said like Muftak Cabe in there, so it brings us to the Mos Eisley Cantina. And we can sit there and headcanon this like crazy. Now,
let's do it.
What tie-in could Boba Fett be in Kenobi? Where's the tie-in besides the cantina scene?
At first, I was thinking this is just a cantina scene from his point of view.
That's what I was thinking too.
Which it still could be, right? But what if this is just a cantina on a different day? Cabe could be there all the time. Obi-Wan goes and gets a drink, and Fett's there all the time. This could be a completely different day.
Throw the image
Jennifer Beals. Okay, yeah. Well, Jennifer Beals' character and being an important actress, this is not a throwaway shot.
She's in one episode, as far as I can tell so far.
Right.
That does not look like the cantina, though. That would have to be a different cantina.
Or a different angle we haven't seen.
Right.
We've seen just about every angle of that cantina.
We think, but I agree with you there. So it could be somewhere else. Could be another Chapter fan, but that's definitely Kenobi. But for a different part of the... This could be one of those times where
Scott's pessimistic. Scott's pessimistic.
I'm always pessimistic.
You're pessimistic that it's Kenobi?
Yes. He is. Scott does not. But I think Scott thinks it's too, like I said, maybe you're questioning the tie-in, the actual tie-in, what it could be. And again, that's where we come in, right? That's where this is what we do,
So this is it. So
every
this
time
is
we do this,
connection.
we're always wrong.
They have a flashback, and this is a meet where somewhere in the past, before A New Hope happens, Fett and Obi-Wan have some kind of run-in, or they meet and talk about a past run-in, right? Where something else they dealt with together, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, and then in Kenobi, we get that adventure. Then all of a sudden, Fett's part of the Kenobi series. We never saw that coming.
That's what I'm saying. And we never saw it coming. It's a curveball and a half. Now, do you think they would purposely reveal that? I mean, that's because my first instinct is like
everything
this. Kenobi,
I'm
like, it's in the background.
Hey, Ahsoka was in a picture for a very long time.
But it was just like a side. You couldn't really tell she was in the photo.
But
she was there, like in the off screen.
And most of us would see that. So they were like, you know what? These dummies didn't catch Ahsoka. Let's put Obi-Wan in it this time a little bit better. And see if they catch it this time. And then there it is. Boom.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just because, let's just say that's 100% Kenobi and everything. Well, what does it really reveal? Nothing but a flashback. That's it.
Right.
So if they did show that in the trailer, Favreau and everything could be setting up like, again, what we do, it's hype, right? What we do, the fans will run with it. That's what we're doing. We're running with somebody that looks like Kenobi in the background, walking through, totally bypassed Jennifer Biel, totally bypassed everything. We went straight to the cantina because that's where, it seems like it's.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You look at Tatooine, all the humans walking around on Tatooine during A New Hope, they are pretty much all dressed just like that.
They don't look like that.
Nobody has a hooded robe, a brown hooded robe with white hair, though.
I'm telling you, it's not, but okay.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if I'm wrong, next time we get to go see a movie, the popcorn is on me. Okay.
There you go. But there'd be no reason to put somebody that looks that close to Kenobi in there. Why would you do that?
Why would you
there'd be no reason.
Why would you do that?
To get idiots like us to talk about
Well, we're going to, I mean, it doesn't take much.
No.
But you wouldn't do it for that purpose.
You could put Muftak in the back and we'd be doing the same thing. I mean, that's...
seriously.
John Favreau's like, watch this.
Yeah, check this out. Hit enter. It's all...
Oh, no.
All right, cool. Well, that is just exciting. It's like a tie-in where, it's an opportunity to tie in everything, and there's some.
It could very well just be Jessica Biel's Twi'lek story, not Biel.
Right.
What was it? Whoever the hell it was.
Jennifer Biel.
Yeah. It could be her Twi'lek story, her background flashback, right? Talking about a story, nothing to do, and just Kenobi walks by,
right.
And that could be all it is, and we just happen to see they're at a place that Kenobi will eventually be in his movie. Or in his show, right? And we'll just happen to be in the same place, same time. And then when we get to Kenobi in that flashback, we're not even going to deal with them. They're not going to intertwine. You're just going to be in the same place, and you'll see that scene happening.
Wow, yeah, you see exactly. And then, comes in the Kenobi series, and we'll see it unfold even more. And it's like, here we go. Okay. Following the rumor mill, Mervine brought up this. Give me an Old Republic animated series. But Mervine, yes, I'm not saying yes, that's happening. I'm saying the rumors are heating up with Old Republic within this week too. Not an animated series, but a full-on feature movie. Could be Taika Waititi's movie. Could be a brand new movie. But the rumor is, 2022.
Actually, hold on. Yeah. The rumor was specifically that the new movie that they're getting geared ready for is not Taika Waititi's movie. It is not Patty Jenkins' movie. That it is what you're going to do.
Yeah, and it's being filmed or start production in 2022. That's
for a late 2023 release, right?
And it's set in the Old Republic era.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then that got backed up today because they said that in that rumor, this was a couple days ago. In that rumor, they said Patty Jenkins' Rogue One was not on schedule. That it had a bunch of rewrites they've gone through, and that it wasn't going on schedule, and they were going to move it. Today, Rogue One got backed out and moved out because it says Patty Jenkins can't find time in her schedule.
Right.
That she has too many things
my
going on.
My secret topic was Rogue Squadron, so we'll get into Rogue Squadron because I got other things on that and some official.
But I'm just saying it backs up that rumor. You know, based on that rumor 5 days ago, to get that news today, you're like, oh, there you go. There's two pieces that fit together. Then you start realizing that where there's smoke, there's fire on a lot of this stuff. That's when you start talking about it.
Right. Adrian is in the chat with us. What's up, man? And he says smells like dark side in here. Yes. And again,
always.
Here's the other thing that's actually in production now, right? What's going on?
Did we say Old Republic and he just jumped in? Like, did he feel it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the trigger word for Adrian. Yeah. The Acolyte got some love, I guess, this week too, right? The Acolyte code name, the production code name is Paradox. And it's almost like, Blue Harvest on Return of the Jedi, kind of, right? It's called Paradox is the production code name that they're using, but it's still called the Acolyte. And now people are questioning, okay, let's take that word paradox. What does that mean? And you throw it into the Acolyte, which they did, it is the High Republic era, again, the end of it. So I made a decision today to not wait, but to really take all the High Republic stuff and consume it right before the Acolyte and just consume. We'll do a special, read on that, like what we can take off of it, because like I said, I think the Acolyte's going to bookend that High Republic, and I'm hoping that it deals what it's promised, meaning full dark side, not full, but exploring that dark side. But there was a cast, not a actress cast, but a character cast called Aura. So we're going to follow Aura in this Acolyte series or movie. Is it a movie or a series?
Series.
I think it's series, yeah.
Yeah, so with the code name of Paradox. So Paradox makes a lot of sense to me when it comes to dark side stuff.
But it's just so they don't know who to peek into, right? They don't really change. They don't really like Blue Harvest.
Yeah, it's like Blue Harvest, right? Yeah. But at this point,
right?
I mean, it's not.
We're
a secret.
trying
it's
to.
Not, it's
right.
not.
We're trying to read into everything.
It's so people don't break into the set. So when you walk by, you don't say, "Oh, that's the Acolyte." You're like, "What?" Right. Us nerds know it's Paradox now, right?
Well, now it's Paradox, so everybody knows anyway. So they're gonna have to change it to like Sunshine Road or something.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna peek on that movie.
Change it to Acolyte, nobody will figure it's Acolyte.
Right.
What's it a code name for?
What is this?
It's like whenever Hasbro releases a figure, it tells you a figure's coming. They say this figure's code name is Toledo, and it's like, I don't know, Bo-Katan, and but they give it stupid nicknames. It's the same damn thing. Trying to throw people off the scent.
It can, but at this point, why? Who cares? No, There's no reason to throw people off the scent. Nope. That's what I'm saying. This is not a secret project. It's not like, I know Chris is saying like it's to get, but it's like Andor couldn't keep people off the set. Book of Fett or Mando couldn't do it. I mean, why do that? So I think there's a little bit more to Paradox, meaning that could. Here's my thinking. It could be a episode title. You know what I mean? Instead of a code name for the production of it. So
could be.
Yeah. Like we're filming, or here's the Paradox season or episode 1 Paradox. Who knows?
I just don't want people to just read into it that means they're going to do nothing but the world between worlds and create time paradox.
No, that's
that's where everybody's. Right?
Gross.
Why do you say gross?
I don't want the world between worlds
you're right.
anymore.
It just kind of clicked. As soon as I said it, Chris, I immediately regret. I was like, it clicked to me because I don't want that either. I think
I don't want this multiverse madness that's going on in Marvel.
The Pit, tell us what you think too about the World Between Worlds, because I feel it was something that was introduced in Rebels that didn't explain fully, and I don't think Dave Filoni explained it fully. Maybe he feels maybe he did, and nobody got it because everybody's using it as time travel, and throwing that crap in there, and then they're using it to like, oh, let's reboot the sequels with World Between Worlds because it's that easy. Just snap our fingers and have everything go back to normal. See what I did there?
You did. But yeah, I just rather not to deal with that craziness. That's all.
Yeah. The only reason people are saying is because of the title behind it was reminiscent of the graphic.
It opens up a Pandora's box of.
It opens up a paradox.
It does open up a paradox. It's just, I don't think it's necessary to tell a good story unless they want to delve into its history or something like that. But somewhere else, during Taika Waititi's show, if his is the beginning of the Jedi Order, like it looks like it might be, then delve into some of the high mysticism of the Force. But otherwise, just let it be. As Paul McCartney,
as Lunar Girl points out, it makes a lot of sense to be in the Ahsoka series to come up regardless, even if it's explaining, because she's the one directly involved in that World Between Worlds.
Far, we're 200 years in the past, right? So somebody could have found it there. It's very possible to see it. It's possible to talk about it in the Acolyte. I just don't want it to have any kind of effect. I don't want it to have any bearing anymore. I don't want it. Somebody to get control of it and change things.
But we do know that it was Emperor Palpatine's. Palpatine. Sorry. Shut up, man. You got a complex with that.
I wasn't going to change it. I was just smiling at you there.
It was Palpatine's. It kind of like he's the one who tapped into it. Mm-hmm. So it could be a full dark side thing and whatnot. But
it could be,
but couldn't use it.
It could be something that they approach in the Acolyte, and that. Maybe whoever the Acolyte is, the Sith Acolyte, they put something about it here I am theory crafting, put something about it in a holocron that Palpatine reads, and that's what leads him down that road.
Yeah.
You never know.
Think so.
We're jumping around here because it's all open talk and everything. So I'm going to go back to the Book of Fett real fast. And Mervine says something about, so someone said the Book of Boba Fett has a Sopranos feel to it, which made me think, how would you guys feel about getting a drama like Star Wars show, i.e. Breaking Bad, Oz, The Wire, without the swinging, male nudity and all that? Yeah, of course.
Or with.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. See, now this is what I see the Darth Maul series. If they proceed with the Darth Maul series, it's very Crimson Dawn based. I could see that going into the Breaking Bad.
The Breaking Bad. Sure.
Yeah. I could see them going that route, but we all know that Mervine doesn't like that idea. So,
well, I mean, I would say more Book of Fett is more Sopranos type. A show, meaning the struggle of power, the power vacuum, the Jabba left, all that stuff. Yeah, a full-on crime lord. Yes, the Godfather in space, which is again, if I remember this vividly, it was our third episode or fourth episode that we even did on this podcast. We talked about a scum and villainy, mafioso type Star Wars,
That's BS. That's before.
Yeah, because it was before
BS.
you.
That's right.
Because that was back when the rumors were for a Jabba movie.
Correct.
Oh, that's
correct.
right.
Yeah.
Old rumors, Jabba movie, Yoda movie, all this kind of stuff. When it comes down to it, we end up getting Boba Fett taken over for Jabba, and in the Acolyte and stuff, we're gonna end up getting Yoda back then. Yeah. We're gonna see Yoda and other stuff. It's like smoke, there's fire, right? And the Kenobi movie ends up being this. The Boba Fett movie ends up, it's all the stuff we talked about for years ends up happening.
Yeah. Right. Going back real fast to the World Between Worlds, Douglas Tupper says, other than us, will the Muggles remember the World Between Worlds?
I don't think they would understand it.
No, you can't. You have
we don't
to
understand
it. Yeah. I love the fact that you said Muggles because this is
that's what it is.
100%. No, you would have to reintroduce it and explain it in layman's terms because no one's going to go back or we're not. It's a hard
which I look forward
duty.
to. I'd like them to explain it in layman's terms.
Yeah. Like I said, like Chris said, I would. This is the reason why I would like them to bring it back to kind of finalize it. Like, this is what it was. This is how it happened, and this is what. Give us a good explanation of what it is. You know what I mean? But do not lean on time travel disrupting the Force, whatever. That's just a very easy cop out, and not a good place. It's not a good place to leave it off how they left it off. So. Not fix it, but explain it in the ways that they pull people out of it. I don't know. It's a weird thing, man. Like it's one of those things that you just like don't like. Chris, I don't want to accept that as final. I don't want to do that. It's got to be different. Yeah.
It's a space where the wills congregated and watched the universe, and then came back and did the
Scott. I like that. That's my favorite part. That's where they watch it. I love that.
This is where they watch, and this is where
Palpatine
they come up with
tapped into it.
Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, if everybody remembers what the Journal of the Wills is, that would be a really cool way of explaining it eventually. But nobody tells us what the wills are, so
not yet.
Except in certain point of view, and that doesn't count because that's all tongue in cheek.
I know, right? It's awesome.
Yeah, those are some of the book. It was the best story in the last book, easily.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Gordon's asked, saying maybe the world between worlds would be best explained in comic form because then, I agree with that because then it doesn't give that public persona of it where it has to be like so confusing. The comic books can really explore it, and they can, do whatever they want.
Because not everybody's going to read those comics, and everybody's going to want to know what it is.
But that's why
we'll be in the same position we're in now. Yeah. Well, what it has to be, it's got to be like, and excuse me for using it, but Green Lantern, any of the Marvel pieces when they talk about the Infinity Stones, they go through and they explain it. In the beginning of Green Lantern, they explain in the beginning there, And then same with the Infinity Stones. It's been explained 3 times throughout those movies what the Infinity Stones are and what they represent. All it takes is a minute, really. We're thinking like it's got to take this big old conversation to do it. It's not. It's somebody saying, "Oh, the world between worlds does this, and this," and you're 15 seconds in, and you're like, "Oh."
Well, it would still be more than we got for Rise of Skywalker and how Palpatine returned.
Yeah,
it just is. So, he just did.
Yeah. You see a cloning chamber, you're like, "No, I get it. I get it. I don't need to say nothing. I see it."
Right.
I see Snoke in it.
I seen it. Yeah, right.
I seen it.
But yeah, I mean, I guess in my thinking of
hold on, I didn't have a problem with Palpatine coming back ever because I had headcanon that forever. I was the blue spirit out of Return of the Jedi went to a clone. Right. That's still the answer. I'm like,
they did that. That was in Dark Empire. They did it in Dark Empire.
Exactly. So, that's been easy. That was I didn't need explanation for that.
No,
that was it.
Just out of nowhere in the context of that trilogy, it was like,
yeah.
But it was 40 years of knowledge, so it was okay.
Yeah,
I get it. I don't like the movie either. I'm sorry. I love it.
I know.
I'm just trying.
It is the weakest link. I know.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I just.
Okay, sorry. Back to the business.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I know we get stuck on World Between Worlds. It's just because it's controversial at the best.
It's a hot topic and it's kind of cool. I'm sorry. It's weird and it's out of the norm, but it's kind of cool.
So the actress, they said that they were doing
right to bring Ahsoka back. That's it.
It was called Aura. Was that the name of the character they cast for it? And it was going to be, was it a Asian female teen?
I don't know.
It's a female person of color. That's what.
I thought I saw Asian. It did say POC. It did say Asian POC teen. Yeah, female teen. Is what I thought. So that's what we're looking right now.
I have a real hard problem with teenagers doing anything because you look, you trust a teenager, even in our times, us as teenagers, to save the world or do whatever. It's not happening. You get in your 30s and then maybe you'll take it up an adventure. I don't think any teenagers really take an adventure.
I didn't even like teenagers when I was a teenager.
Right?
I didn't care. I can care less when I was a teenager to do anything but eat and sleep and try to get past school.
We're Gen X though, man. It's
that's true. I mean, I guess
pretty mellow.
The whole teen thing, I never bought into like this. I know Luke was 18, right? But at the same time, he showed it too. He didn't want to go. He didn't want.
Yeah, but Leia didn't act it.
No, she was different. Yeah,
well, and nor did Amidala.
Women mature faster than men anyway. So
right, and they really use that in Star Wars. Like I said, Amidala was a queen at what 13 or 12 or 14 or 15 or
correct,
whatever
the youngest, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
And
goodness.
Anakin didn't like sand.
Yeah. Why? We don't like sand. We live in it too. I mean,
It's true.
Patty Jenkins, Rogue Squadron. You brought it up earlier. I got some notes on this.
Yeah, go for it.
So more stuff, and you talked about the release date. First off, yes, Rogue Squadron was. Kathleen Kennedy even said it. Patty Jenkins has a scheduling conflict right now that might push back Rogue Squadron a little bit, but they are keeping the December 22nd, 2023 date right now. They're as of right now, that's still the release date. But also in the same article said it could be pushed back in it even used the word indefinite, which I hate that word.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
You know.
Well, they're having trouble getting the script. Does that say it in that article?
No, the script is actually done because Patty Jenkins said the script is done. Not done, but they've got the entire overall view of the movie. Okay, because I even have notes on when it takes place, and this is interesting too that we can propel this into talk with that. But the real life production of Rogue Squadron, again, the set date is still December 22nd, 2023, but with the possibility of being pushed back indefinitely, which I hate. Again, bad word.
Hate that word.
That 23 slot is the rumored. That was already the rumored slot for the Old Republic movie. That's the slot.
That was Rogue Squadron. 100%.
No, what I'm saying is the rumor is it's taking its slot.
Right.
So the fact that you have this news now that it's possibly being pushed back gives more.
That's probably why
it gives weight to the Old Republic. They
accelerated this Old Republic movie. They accelerated something. Like,
well, I'm more excited about Old Republic than I am Rogue Squadron.
Oh yeah. Rogue Squadron's not in the right time frame.
And let me tell you what. So the time frame of Rogue Squadron is let me put it here. I have it here. It's first off, which excites me. It's heavily influenced by EU and the video game Rogue Squadron back in the day.
That's awesome because
they did say that they did say she was reading Stackpole books. Yeah, you know,
but it also
those are great.
Moves the saga into the future era of the galaxy.
Right.
And speculating that is beyond Rise of Skywalker. Okay. My first question, without even whatever, is why have a Rogue Squadron if we just defeated the First Order? Yeah, there's peace. But again, we don't know all the facts and everything. But this is according to these statements that makes it sense when it says future of Star Wars, and it's that whole thing about how it's going to change a lot of things moving forward. A straight up fighter pilot story, action, high sequence action, dealing with the Rebel Alliance, I guess, or at this case,
it'd be
not Rebel Alliance. It could be New Republic and stuff.
The New Republic.
Correct. Yeah, and we don't know how far in the future. It just says beyond the future. It just says the beyond, basically what we know now, which is cool too.
Yeah. There's nothing for me though.
We need a serious time jump. I mean, like a big time jump, because I'm tired of this. They put a nice bow on the whole Empire First Order thing. We need a time jump, forward or backward. We need to stop messing around in this era, except for the stuff on Disney Plus, because I'm loving all that fills in that 30-year gap. But if they want to go into the future, don't just go, the next day.
Tell me what EU stuff could we pull out that we said that we can propel that into the future beyond Rise of Skywalker in the time frame,
you just got. We talked about it before. Just take Grogu 500 years in the future, and we're good. That way, you have a connective tissue. You're good. He's a master at this point, or 700 years, 900 years for all I care. Do it like Yoda. Yeah. But make it a little different. Make him more viable than Yoda, just sitting around. So go a couple hundred years. You're fine. You're nobody else is alive. Nobody else exists. You're good. Just Grogu and this whole new era.
So let me just put this out there. And do we move away from Sith and Jedi? I was going to say Force users, but I don't think that's going to stop anywhere.
Jedi. I don't think getting rid of the Jedi would be. The whole thing is rebuilding the Jedi Order again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of the cornerstone of the Star Wars galaxy is at least Jedi. You don't have to have Sith. I would be interested in another form of dark side user.
At the very least, the Force has to be involved, right?
Yeah.
Because the Force is what gives everything its power, so it can't just go away. Jedi and Sith can go away. You can have different sects, right?
You look in our world, there are so many different religions, and some of them are all based on the same mythologies and the same stories. And, you could have another dark side sect. I mean,
yeah, I remember. I go back and I go, okay, why was the Jedi Council conceived in the first place? And basically, it was to keep the peace in the galaxy. It wasn't really to combat Sith. Mm-hmm. Now, you go back to the Old Republic, then there, that whole break on why Sith even exists in the first place, and that inner conflict within the Force users themselves. But why have the Jedi Council on course and overseeing the Senate in the first place? I hope it doesn't doom to repeat. It's the new Republic or New Republic going forward will have a Senate, obviously, because that's what Leia and all of them were building on, the New Republic. Mm-hmm. And Luke Skywalker was trying to do this other Jedi order. And I was hoping that it wasn't this, more of the same. Like you guys said, let's going beyond 500 years. Let's say, just put that exclamation point. 500 years, let's use that. Going beyond that, yeah, I would say the term Jedi would be gone. I don't think Sith would be, well, Sith maybe because they still haven't learned their lesson. So maybe that could be something still in the back. But I would love to explore other developments in it. Like, let's use this as an example. You see the sequel trilogies, and you see how much more powerful Kylo Ren was and Rey was as Force users than we've been seeing, even in the, kind of like the prequel eras, right? So how much more of that can we explore? How much more of this dark side energy power and light side energy power can we really, really get into, and the conflict within that too? Like, it's a progression thing, right?
I like that, and I think that was something that Luke was tapping into in The Last Jedi. The Jedi are, the dogmatic ideas of the Jedi and the Sith are wrong, and that's what's driving this constant conflict. Be more, be better,
Right.
And the way that Rey could tap into both sides, and as she was being trained by Luke, I mean, that was possibly what we could see in the future of Star Wars is that kind of power where it is a true balance between dark and light.
Well, yeah, they're not bad, but they can control both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like it would be really interesting to see that.
Correct me if I'm wrong too. In the EU stuff or Legends, didn't the Sith go into the rule of one? Like in the future, what was that called? So if we get an Old Republic movie, right? We got the Sith Empire returning in the timeline of Star Wars. You got the Sith Empire returning, and you got the Jedi. I mean, it's a full-on two-faction conflict with thousands of Sith, thousands of Jedi, and this whole thing. Then the Rule of Two came. The Bane trilogy came. Right, the Rule of Two came. Then we get into our prequel era, Skywalker saga, and moving forward. Wasn't there in the future episodes or in the EU before everything was destroyed, wasn't there a rule of one where the Sith said there is no apprentices or
no, there was the Sith Empire, and it was ruled by Darth Krayt, and then he had like dozens of Sith lords that worked below him, like Darth Talon and all of these other characters. So it went from being a rule of two to being a rule of one ruler and then many acolytes, for lack of better terms, that followed his rule.
So the structure's changed.
Yeah, and it was Cade Skywalker and the Imperial Knights versus the Sith.
Because I'm fuzzy on that. I really didn't get into that stuff, but
it's fantastic.
Name dropping, I was like, okay, certain things I remember.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to because I'm looking at the comment section too, and some people are like worried about Rogue Squadron being Top Gun. At first, I didn't want Rogue. I don't want a Top Gun movie. I don't want that. The tongue in cheek, quirky comments. And,
as long as it's not like that. As long as idea, the premise behind Top Gun is kind of cool. The best of the best
80s
and elite squadron. But I don't need to see volleyball playing on a the deck of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah. You could take the drama out of that and the whole human element out of it. But Patty Jenkins did promise that it's highly Star Wars. It's going to be set in Star Wars, but it's also influenced on the World War II.
I have a
fighter
feeling
pilots
that
and
one's
stuff.
getting canned, dude. I'm
You think
sure
so?
we're never gonna see
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron.
I think between
What's
all
up with
of these,
Patty Jenkins, man? You got a Star Wars movie to work on. What the hell are you doing?
between
Like,
between all of these delays and the Wonder Woman 84 thing, I just don't think.
well,
I just don't think it's
Agreed.
happening with her. Which
Can I
sucks,
say something?
Because I loved Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie. I loved it. So
Yeah. Can I say
I liked Wonder Woman, and I was okay with 84. Neither one of them made me think I want this person to do a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
that's true.
Hey, Pitt, do you guys agree with this statement? Do you guys agree with this statement?
Oh God.
If they canceled it tomorrow, I would not cry over it.
Me neither.
Even though we have a long time in between theatrical releases, and it was like something more of like, okay, another 2 years or whatever. Again, but with the promise of, or the rumored promise of something taking its place would be amazing. And here we go. I'm gonna make some of the people that are full on this inner conflict Civil War thing about Lucasfilm, and this is the only time I really bring this up. Is that this Rogue Squadron was developed in that time frame of the sequels, Solo, right? Like that whole thing, and it's this whole whatever side of it's not Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. Okay, they're doing it's like this. Those guys are doing amazing stuff, and everything else besides Rogue One.
It was planned pre-Mandalorian, right? Is that
correct.
What you're saying?
And so I wouldn't mind a little bit of a backtrack with it. Like, hey, she's too busy to do it. You know what, Patty Jenkins, if you think you didn't back out, just whatever, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I don't think I would like be mad about it.
Kind of like Rangers of the New Republic. Are you upset about that one?
No.
You know why? Because these aren't Jedi-centric stories.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
I just saw, was it Mervine in there said, I'm kind of tired of seeing Jedi and lightsaber. You take Jedi and lightsaber out of it, you're bored to shit.
Yeah.
You've got every other sci-fi movie. You've got Dune. You've got all those other. Yeah.
Gordon Skolsky. He says there are so many cool Star Wars projects on the horizon, so Rogue Squadron is kind of low on the want list for me. Yeah. Because of all the stuff we just talked about, because of the stuff we've been talking about, and the slate for Disney Plus, I'm really, really cool with what we're getting and what other than what we're not getting at this point.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm not going to lie that I love the Rogue Squadron books. I read every single Rogue Squadron book. I devoured those novels. Whenever they said this movie was coming, I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. Yeah. But then what you said about the time frame, that's not the first time I heard of that about the time frame. And I'm like, this is not. Yeah,
it throws it in a whole different direction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a whole, because how could you take EU Rogue One and the video game and set this after the time frame of the prequels?
We're going to take the story and use different characters, the ones you don't like, and we're going to take out the ones you do. Yeah. And you know, it just doesn't make any sense. So let's, instead of letting everybody crap on it for 5 years in a row, let's just not do it. And let's get Lando. Let's get Lando in here.
I 100% agree.
Down with that.
Let's see here. Mervine, Rogue Squadron works as a book comic, like Inferno Squad. 100%. If they reintroduce it that way, I will consume. We are fascinated with the other aspects of Force users, but when it's not the main focal point of it, besides Rogue One is a different thing because Rogue One is a direct result into an episodic.
There was still talk of Kyber crystals. There was still talk of the Force, the Wills, and Vader.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like Vader just showed up at the end. Vader was in the movie.
100%, man.
So you would have died without him.
Lunar Girl backs it up. I'd rather see Boba Mando season 3. Again, what our slate that we got now is such an exciting slate. And
this was the weakest link.
And if we don't go to a movie theater to watch Star Wars, I know we're promised movies, but for the sake of argument, if it never does happen, I've said this before, and it's a little controversial, but Chris and I have discussed this before. You know, what we got between the first 6 movies was cool, and we were actually cool if we never. I mean, this is it. This was life for us, and to not go to the movie theater, besides a rewatch or re-release of it, not a reboot. I'm talking like anniversary edition. That was cool with us. I love going to the movies because of the experience, but what Disney Plus is doing is taking place such a void in Star Wars that this is our new EU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a different experience now. Now we watch it at midnight and we talk about it in the morning and we have a show about it. It's completely different.
Yeah.
World,
And do you guys agree? Like, if something's set in the movie in a theatrical release for for really the masses, do we perceive that different than a series? I know we perceive it different in a comic and a book, but a series in the Disney Plus series, because it's almost like, because all we had was episode movies, and those are like the definitive Star Wars.
I perceived it differently until we saw what they could do with it. Until we saw Mandalorian episode 1, I was skeptical. I was like, man, Star Wars is something I want to view on the big screen, other than the animated shows, which are fantastic. Yeah. But I mean, The Mandalorian, really, the way to kick off this whole live action TV show thing with that, it made a believer out of me. So if this is the route we're going to go.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars is growing with the times of video on demand. And George Lucas said it a long time ago, before I think even the prequels he was working on. He said he sees movies being released in a theater and on video on demand at the same time. Like he said that's where it's going. You know, where we're gonna have a box where all these movies gonna come. You're gonna pay for a subscription and you're gonna have all this stuff, right? You know,
he called it.
Yes, part of me, because of our generation, our age, is like, no, we like going to the movies. We're going to go see Afterlife together because, I don't want to see that by myself at home, right? I mean, it's like I'd rather enjoy it with you guys and stuff. Star Wars is different, though. I'm going to say Star Wars is a lot different because of the mindset that we had before Disney took over. It was set and done, and we came to terms with it. This is all bonus in my life, right? I mean, we had our movies and our experiences and our sleep and our camp outs overnight and midnight shows. I really wish midnight shows. I know we're old and stuff, but I kind of like the midnight shows instead of 7 o'clock the night before. I mean, that's more convenient. We're home in bed, but it's just boring.
I'm old.
Boring, Scott.
I'm old.
Those were the lines and the energy and everybody hooting and hollering when the screen went. I love that. I miss that.
Yeah, for me, it was always the very first showing on the actual morning of release, like a Friday morning release. That's when I would go see it, not the Thursday midnight. Because even whenever I was 20-something, I was old.
No, man, we wanted to go in there. We went to hoot and holler and everybody quiet. And you see R2-D2 for a second. And everybody loses.
That's why we always booked the next showing, because we knew we weren't going to get any story or any dialogue, or because it was such an experience, such a story. And I think that's missed. And we've gone to the sequel trilogy, and it was like, what? Hey, what? Even Force Awakens, when the hype was like at the all-time high before, we were like, what's going on? Like, hey guys, are you awake? You know what I mean?
We saw it a bunch. I liked Force Awakens.
Yeah. Every time I've seen a movie live action in a theater, the minute long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, bam, Star Wars. Yeah. Everybody cheers. It
was me and Chris in the front row.
Yeah, there's cheering, but everybody's pent up from a 12-hour freaking line.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It was just different because we go to all of them, right? It's like it was just a different vibe because in a 12 or 48-hour line that we've been in, you get to know everybody. And you're at a convention basically, and you're meeting everybody, and everybody's cool, and everybody stinks.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing, and everybody's tired, sunburnt, and wanting to be this over, and probably half drunk. Well, and it's just madness. And
I will say this,
I don't get that at 10 in the morning the next day.
No. I will say this though, Rogue One, we went into that line in Rogue One going like, the previews look really cool. We don't know. We're just here to have fun. Oh my God. I'm in that with Rogue Squadron. Like, of course we'll be there day one. Of course we'll get our pre-tickets and everything. But at the same time, I'm like, But I kind of are spoiled now. I kind of want it to be the feel and the energy of Rogue One. I kind of want that energy moving forward. Mm-hmm. It's Star Wars. You have to demand this kind of stuff. You have to demand that. I don't care how simple the story is.
I didn't think about it until you said it. Wouldn't that just drive everybody nuts, having a Rogue One and a Rogue Squadron? Why isn't that driving people nuts? Why isn't that driving me nuts until right now? That would bug the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Well, we've already had a Rogue Squadron in the movies. So, I mean, whenever they announced Rogue One, I'm like, what does this mean? And I mean, the way they were able to tie it together in the comics with Luke learning the story of Jyn Erso and then taking it and saying, I'm gonna name my squadron after those heroes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
There it was. Sorry, that's what I had to get that out real quick. Because that was the lamest bunch of shit too. They've overdone Jin in the books. Overdone.
Yeah.
Jin.
Oh, the whole But the way they
whole-
tied
yeah.
it together in the comic though was cool because that was Luke on the ruins of Jeddah, and that was a cool story.
Yeah.
Whatever, Chris. Whatever.
Yeah. Mervine says, how many stories, if any, do we have of Force users that aren't Jedi or Sith? Maybe Disney can tap into those.
You got the Night Sisters. You got the Night Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
There's more. That wasn't it.
There's the Guardians. They're
the
Guardians
Guardians of the
Wills.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
something to do with the one that loved Jar Jar. Weren't they Force sensitive?
Yes.
Something to do with that. Okay.
Yes, they were. That whole race was that whole epic. Yeah, I know you like that particular arc, but that was just silly.
I do. I like that one, and I like the one on the deserted planet too that you guys hate. I love that one too.
Oh God, the droid one.
Well, Maz Kanata is a separate Force of.
Maz Kanata, yeah, you're right.
And I don't know if she's a Force user, but I mean, she's she's tapped into it. She can't use it, but
I've lost it, but they've mentioned it in different places, in different books, where they say, "Oh, you use the Force. We have something called," and they'll say something else.
Right.
And
The Skywalkers from the Thrawn series.
There you go.
Yeah. They
Oh,
do
and the Navigators even. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Even the Navigators are saying they tap it. They don't call it the Force though. They call it the One or the power.
Sight or
between third sight and something else.
Yeah. So Mervine would be very, very, very cool to go back all the way to the beginning where the Jedi and Sith split, where it was Jeddas or Jedi or I forgot what they
Jedi.
Thank you. The
Ages
Jedis, and then the
stuff.
philosophies split. Would it be a great
on the planet Tython that was in the Mandalorian? We've been there already.
And that deserves a series, not a movie. That deserves a series, not a trilogy, but a ongoing thing, because there's a lot of philosophy behind why the dark side users became dark side users and the Jedi, because they were all Jedi at first, and that would be a very, very cool, interesting thing, because then you have where it branches off, and the more they tapped into it, because being a Sith is you tap into the dark side energy, and you take up the mantle of the Sith.
It's all emotions.
Same thing with the Jedi. The Jedi taps into almost the same kind of energy, but they use it for good. Therefore, their abilities are good, But they still can force choke and all that stuff with like force.
They're basically a conduit, and the power comes out however they are, right? It's like when you're drunk. When you're drunk, your mood kind of overtakes whatever, you know what I mean? But these guys, their whole personality, it's their being. When they control the Force, their being becomes whatever, that's what
I would also love to explore more of the Kyber crystal, mythos behind take some of the vision stuff where the holder influences, and it kind of does. I mean, besides the Sith making it bleed to turn red, and then I would love a side story of a Sith becoming Sith and have to hunt down a Jedi to get his lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like live action, even if it's a spin-off, even if it's would be awesome if it was actually they were trying to go after Kenobi to get his lightsaber to make it bleed as the antagonist for Kenobi series. It's this Sith Lord that doesn't have a saber yet, and he's going after Kenobi.
Because you kind of have to, because there's not many Jedi to beat.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this guy tracks down Kenobi, and Kenobi just takes care of him. Maybe Maul tells him hey, Kenobi's on Tatooine.
That's Maul. He's Maul's. That's all. Maul's not telling anybody.
He's mine. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, there's so much here in the rumor mill to go off and spin off in the future of it, and all it stems from is Rogue One might be delayed, and then we just kind of go off on this other things what else can they do? Because again, they're not slowing down, but it almost. Maybe I'll live to regret this, but I'm almost excited if it gets if it gets delayed, because it opens up other things like Scott kind of or Chris, you kind of preluded to we know of Rogue Squadron, we know of this stuff. Even if you don't read the EU stuff, it's all there. It's how much exploration can you really get into that kind of movie? Let's not do that. Let's do something else that excites. Like Mervyn was saying, more different forces. Like the Night Sister story would be amazing. Asajj Ventress' story would be amazing. These are stuff that I would rather explore more than a Top Gun-esque Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
If
we don't eventually see Asajj Ventress in some kind of live action, it's a miss, right? I really want to see that.
It's a miss. Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So question about the Acolyte really quick, with them calling her Aura. Has the talk online been, because I haven't been paying attention because it's online and it's stupid. Aura Singh. It's got to be about Aura Singh.
It's spelled wrong. It's spelled different.
No, it's spelled different. Yeah. No,
one R instead of two R's or something.
Correct.
No, because that's just because the era is different.
You're right, Scott. I haven't seen that kind of like comments. I didn't really look into it that deep, but I'm sure there's someone saying, "Oh, it's Aurora Singh, but she's a bounty hunter." How they're ruining Disney, or Disney's ruining Star Wars, they're ruining the character. I had Aurora Singh tattooed on my sleeves, and how they're ruining this character.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing. Everybody's pretty positive on it still, to be honest. It is still all right. I mean, you get the regular High Republic trash talk, right? But besides that,
exactly. We're gonna dive into the High Republic. I think more that we hear when I get an acolyte like release date, like series, a trailer, or something like that. I think that's when I'm really going to delve into the High Republic and read all that stuff.
They've got like 2 more phases before the acolyte comes out. So
I know it's gonna be a tough.
And since they're doing phases, this one was 200 years before Phantom Menace, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know they're not going to time jump 50 times twice. 50 years twice. We could be
You're
pretty close. And I always like to tie things in because I think everything is done for a reason. Because again, all the Legends books are back, right? They're re-releasing them. Rogue Squadron, Mace Windu's a Shatterpoint, all the Bane trilogies, and we just saw the Plagueis book, right?
So awesome, yeah.
We're to that point where these things can cross over if the High Republic time jumps a little bit. Yeah. Then you can start getting some Plagueis backstory in there, which would intertwine into another story. Because if they're going to do anything, if we're ever going to say there's something like Marvel at all, you just want a connective tissue. I don't need the story to take place. I just need this connection between everything. Not a complete
is more important yet.
Just tie it up, move it. Doesn't need to be involved in the story. Just that's why this involves here. Boom, go. Yeah. And I think that's what it could do. And
I
agree.
From what here's proof, Scott. Here's proof. Obi Wan is in Book of Fett. He's right there.
Somebody has to be the pessimist. I know you do, Scott. But this should be a unanimous. Yeah, that's Obi Wan Kenobi. It can't be anybody else. It's like if there was a picture of me right there going like this. That's not Chris. It's me. I'm waving. That's not you. Bullshit. Yeah, that's Obi Wan Kenobi.
I'm telling you, if that is Obi Wan Kenobi, I'm buying you both popcorn.
Cool.
Are we getting some popcorn?
I was going to say it Afterlife, but we're going to end up seeing Afterlife way before.
Now, you said you watched it on your computer. Have you watched it on the big screen, like a TV?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Oh, and have you watched that part on the big screen TV?
Oh, not slowing it down.
Don't slow it down. Just watch it. No. He flows in like he's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm telling you, Scott. Like I watched, I was like,
face. I would have said that's Obi-Wan.
Right.
All right.
I was just looping because I was looping that part, and I was like, it's him.
Sure. It's because it's Obi-Wan. It's not because of the Twi'lek. Sure.
I don't even see a Twi'lek anymore.
I'm kidding.
Twi'lek? It's Obi-Wan in the back.
Yeah. You're not talking to some crummy dudes. You're talking to some nerds.
Yeah.
We're like, I don't see
we look at Obi-Wan, man.
You ask Mando Mike what he sees. He sees the Twi'lek. You ask me, I see Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So true.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, we're out of time. I want to thank you guys for joining. This was awesome talk. We could carry this over for another 5 hours. That'd be awesome. I think we will. In our private chat, especially in our Facebook's Starlight Central. If you're not a member of that, go over there on Facebook and join because the conversation continues. I want
Stealing
to
my lines.
Congratulate Luke Wise for winning our raffle
and Luke giveaway. And Luke Weeks.
Thank you. Luke Weeks.
Palpatine.
Hey man, sometimes I think faster than I talk. I apologize, but
I love it.
But if you're listening to this, Luke, get a hold of us. We'll try to get a hold of you, but we're only going to give it like a certain amount of time before we spin the wheel and give it to somebody else. So.
3 years is our max.
3
It's California law. We have to keep it for 3 years.
Exactly. So everybody in the pit, thank you so much. Next week we've got Lunar Girl that's coming on. It's going to chat it up with us, and we'll come up with some content. Hopefully, well, actually, we're going to have the Disney Plus to break down the Disney Plus day. Whatever happens this Friday, we are going to, of course, break it down on Monday. So stay tuned to that. And if you haven't done so, please do so. Smash that like button. We got 31 likes last one. Let's get 32 likes. I would love it. I mean, 32 likes ain't that hard to.
It's
not
quite
that much.
possible that our next contest will also be linked to likes. So
Yes,
get
it
used
will.
to hitting that like
Get used to
button.
it.
Get used to telling your
and-
friends.
And next week is the Timothy Zahn giveaway.
Yes.
And next
Yep.
week is also the review of the lesser of
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
the new book.
Awesome.
So I'll get the review done by next week.
Very
We'll
cool.
do it
Very
then.
cool.
Very
It's
cool.
going to be a Thrawn,
And give it
Thrawn
done.
heavy episode. So I know
Yay.
you like that. All right, guys.
It won't be that heavy.
Yeah. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you very much. I'm going to leave it up to Scott to take us out of it. So,
All right, here we go. So once again, as Marco mentioned, please jump in at the Sarlacc Digest Central on Facebook. Join up, continue the conversation with us there. Also, we've got the TikTok channel going where there's a 1 minute or so toy review every day except for tomorrow. And also our Facebook, our Instagram, Twitter. Please consider joining us on Patreon. Become a Patreon patron. Throw us a couple bucks, and all that money goes right back into the production of this show. Where else are we going to get amazing graphics like this and microphones that work and stuff? So, and where else are we going to get this
and
kind
Obi
of
Wan
graphic?
Kenobi.
All these,
Obi Wan Kenobi.
all those pixels, man. It's all
Confirmed.
there. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Anybody else want to go? Chris, you want to have a go?
No,
Bye, guys.
that's it.
Did I miss
waiting
anything?
That was fun.
Did I
I
miss
was waiting
anything?
for you to keep it nerdy. I mean, I
No.
could say it if you want me to.
I
say
could
it,
say, I could, yeah.
Don't you dare. Keep it nerdy, everybody. Do, do, do.